So when is it going to be that perfect time for you to buy in Asheville, North Carolina? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer that question as well as share Asheville, North Carolina housing market trends in summer of 2024. You will learn which towns had the market go up and which towns had the market go down. So stay tuned for that. That way you can make an informed decision and pick the best option for yourself and your family. Median sales price in Asheville proper went up 4% compared to last year and is at $520,000. Asheville has less listings, about 2% less listings than last year and about 1.7% more sales. So what does that tell you? There's more demand than there is supply, and it's been going on like that for years. We've always been in a seller's market, and it just depended on how strong the seller's market was, and it's not changing towards the buyers or towards the balanced market anytime soon. At least I do not see it. So that is what's happening in Asheville proper. Median sales price in Hendersonville, North Carolina, which is just south of Asheville, and that is the second biggest town in Western North Carolina. It went up 7% compared to last year and is at $455,000. And unlike Asheville, Hendersonville actually has about 3% more listings, but about 7.25% less sales. So what does that tell you? There's more people who want to sell this time around compared to last year, and there are not as many deals that are happening in Hendersonville compared to last year. In other words, and that's what I see, is that there's a lot of overpriced properties, and people still think that they live in 2021, 2022, when you could just jack up the price and you'll get what you want. That's not the case anymore. You have to be very, very sensitive to the market, to what's going on, to median days on the market, adjust your price, or just do not start high out of the gate if you're a seller in Hendersonville or any other area in Western North Carolina. As we move a little bit more west of Asheville, median sales price in Wayville, North Carolina, went up a little over 10% compared to last year and is at $410,000 right now in summer of 2024. There's actually less listings in Wayville, North Carolina right now than last year, and less sales than we had last year. It's still a pretty strong seller's market in Wayville. Well, and Wayville is a pretty popular town here in Western North Carolina, in Haywood County. It is the largest town in Haywood County. It's very beautiful there. They have all kinds of amenities there. The elevation is slightly higher than here in Asheville. So it's going to be even cooler than here. It is very beautiful. It is right next door to all kinds of recreational opportunities. There's all kinds of options when it comes to living in Wayville. You can check out one of my videos that I did about communities west of Asheville, and Wayville is on that list. Median sales price in Black Mountain, which is located in the same county as Asheville, Buncombe County, just a little east of Asheville, went up 13% and is now at $530,000. So the inventory in Black Mountain actually went up compared to last year. Days on the market also went up, and it takes a lot longer to sell a house in Black Mountain these days. But sales, the number of closed deals in Black Mountain went down. So what does that tell me? It tells me that there's a ton of overpriced properties. Again, Black Mountain has always been a lot more expensive, and you would get less for your money in Black Mountain than even in some parts of Asheville, which is kind of crazy. But it is a very nice, very charming town, just 20 minutes from Asheville, North Carolina, more east. And so it does not sound to me that a lot of sellers in Black Mountain and their agent got on with times and adjusted their expectations of the market, which is why days on the market went up, the inventory went up, but the number of sales went down. Median sales price in Weaverville, North Carolina, which is a small town about 10-15 minutes north of downtown Asheville, went up 17% from last year and is now at $552,000. And you know, Weaverville has always been a very popular destination, a very popular town for a lot of people because of its such close proximity to Asheville and all the amenities that Asheville has to offer. Although there's a ton of amenities and things to do and places to go to in Weaverville itself. It's got a cute downtown, walkable with tons of local businesses. Weaverville has some big box stores right there like Lowe's and Walmart. So, you know, it keeps growing, it keeps expanding, and a lot more people want to be right next door to Asheville because they don't want to be right in Asheville for different reasons. Sometimes, you know, taxes or just, you know, vibing with different people. But Weaverville is one of those places where prices did not go down, did not even stop, did not slow down. They went up. So as you can see, market in all these towns, including Asheville, has not stopped. It went up, despite the fact that a lot of people have been on the fence because of interest rates. We had a lot of clients, some of our friends even told us that they want to wait for interest rates to go down because that's just unacceptable. Well, if you do the math, you know, while you've been waiting for interest rates to go down this whole year or more now, prices didn't stop. They did not wait for any interest rates. They continue to go up, and now you will be buying a house that is anywhere from 4 to 17% more, depending on the area. That's not something that you can change. Now, interest rate, you can potentially, there's a little caveat, right, with everything. Talk to your lender, talk to a professional. You can always refinance, almost always refinance, right? You cannot change the price. The price is the price. I mean, you can negotiate it down if the house has been on the market for a while, or it's overpriced and nobody's buying it, and maybe you can come by and offer less, which is why it is important to hire a professional who will be on your side, who will guide you in this process. But anyways, what I'm saying is that we had quite a few people tell us when we followed up with them, tell us that they are no longer on the market in Asheville, in the Asheville area, because the market went up and there is nothing that they can afford anymore. And you might be wondering, well, there's gotta be some places, some other towns that did not see all those crazy market changes and didn't see the market go up so drastically. And there are. First one on the list is Brevard, North Carolina. Brevard, North Carolina is located almost an hour from Asheville. It's more kind of southwest of Asheville if you look on the map. Brevard is a super charming, filled with character town in Western North Carolina. It's not a big town, but it's got its own downtown. They have a hospital. They have all the necessities there. It is located in Transylvania County, which is the wettest, yes, I said that, wettest county in Western North Carolina. It has the more rainfall than anywhere else, which is why there's over 200 waterfalls in Brevard and in Transylvania County. It is also a mecca and a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts, for all the people who love outdoors, and I'm talking about hiking, biking, and cycling, and of course, waterfall exploring. Transylvania County has a huge cycling community, a huge community of cyclists, and of course, a huge community of outdoor lovers. The Pisgah National Forest is right next door. DuPont State Park is right next door on the other side, so it's a huge attraction. However, prices, the market in Brevard, North Carolina, did not change whatsoever. And that is great news for those who are still looking in this area and are trying to figure out, well, where can we get something at yesterday's prices, basically. The number of days on the market, the days that it takes to sell a house in Brevard actually went down. So it sounds like to me, people in Brevard, sellers and their listing agents, their agents who are doing a better job, got on with the trend, got on with times, and are pricing their properties correctly, and they're going faster. But there's still no indication that the market moved up significantly from last year. And that is Marshall, North Carolina is another small town just north of Asheville in Madison County that also did not see any price change compared to the same time last year. Median sales price in Marshall, North Carolina right now is at $437,000. The inventory in Marshall, North Carolina actually went up, but the number of closed deals went down. So, well, less people want to be there. And I kind of sort of can understand why, because Marshall, North Carolina, although very beautiful, sits on the bank of French Broad River, especially the downtown, very beautiful, very small town, historic, lots of local businesses, galleries, lots of artists from Asheville, or artists in general pick Marshall these days versus Asheville because it's so expensive. It's still a very, very small town. I'm talking about under 1,000 people, okay? So it's an opportunity area. It's an opportunity town to buy something now and that will appreciate over the years. And you're still in very close proximity to Asheville. I'm talking about, downtown to downtown, about 30 minutes. So that's nothing, especially for those who are coming from big cities. But that's a warning. It's a very tiny town, under 1,000 people who live in Marshall, North Carolina. Now, the following towns are where the median sales prices actually went down. So here we go. Fairview, North Carolina saw almost 8% decrease in median sales price compared to last year and is now at $529,000. So Fairview is located between East and South Asheville. So southeast of Asheville. There's no downtown, there's no, community center or, of any sort, or like a main area, main street, none of that. But there is a very strong sense of community in Fairview, North Carolina. There's a ton of farms, a ton of traditional communities, a ton of traditional mountain gated communities, as well as a ton of horse properties. So part of it is very mountainous, especially as you start driving from Asheville towards Fairview. You'll see a lot of, houses that are kind of perched on the side of the mountains and entrances to all these different communities. But as you keep going, you will see, and especially if you turn onto Cane Creek Road, that part of Fairview is absolutely gorgeous. It sits in the valley, Cane Creek Valley, and you'll see a ton of farms, and specifically horse farms. So Fairview, North Carolina actually saw a decrease. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why people are not drawn to Fairview, or maybe it's not discovered just yet as much as some other parts of Asheville or parts of Western North Carolina. So this might be a great opportunity for you to be in very close proximity to Asheville and all its amenities, but feel like you are on the farm, feel like you're in the country. Median sales price in ℂ𝕠𝕟 went down insignificantly, but 2.3%, and is now at $532,000. Now, ℂ𝕠𝕟 is a town that is located in Rutherford County, and it is just more southeast of Asheville. So Rutherford County, Polk County, all these counties, a couple of counties, are located in the thermal belt, which means it's going to be a little warmer in ℂ𝕠𝕟. Growing season will be longer, but outside of that, ℂ𝕠𝕟 is a very charming southern town, very small. Big attraction, of course, for a lot of locals and tourists is ℂ𝕠𝕟, the lake itself. There's a ton of million-dollar properties, luxury properties on that lake. I mean, not all of them are like that, but a lot of those properties are million-dollar properties. So I feel like that's why the prices, even though it's out there, you wouldn't even think that it's going to be expensive out there, but that's why this median sales price is like that. I think is because of all those lakefront properties that are located in ℂ𝕠𝕟. And there's, honestly, there's a number of private gated communities that are located in ℂ𝕠𝕟, so that might be driving prices up as well. But compared to same time last year, or compared to last year, prices went down a little bit. So if you're thinking about having a lake house on Lake Lure, this might be a great opportunity for you. Rutherford itself, which is also located in Rutherford County, saw a 0.5% median sales price go down compared to the same time last year, and is now at 300,000. And of course, it's not as big tourist destination. There's no lake, but it's got a very charming, very cute, very walkable downtown, and is a great place for a lot of people who are seeking more elbow room, who are seeking growing something or living off of their land, having more land for, for a farm, or just have more privacy. And, it also is in thermal belt, so the growing season will be longer. It's going to be a little warmer, but it's going to be as equally beautiful. I mean, the more, of course, east you go from Asheville, and Rutherford is this great example. It's not going to be necessarily flat, but it's going to start flattening out. So you will see more of, rolling hills, or it will be hilly, not as mountainous as here in Asheville, or, west of Asheville or north of Asheville. So it's going to be as equally beautiful, but a lot more affordable. So overall, just like at any other time, sellers want to sell and they want to get the highest amount possible. Buyers want to buy and they want to get a deal. And it seems like, to me, a lot of buyers just gave up on waiting for those interest rates to go down, because, listen, life goes on. People's plans change. People's plans need to move on, and they just cannot wait for those interest rates to go down. So I cannot even remember last time somebody told me that they are going to wait for interest rates to go down. People are just jumping in and trying to find something to buy because, inventory is still low. There's still not a whole lot to choose from, and we still have bidding wars. Not as crazy. I should reframe that. We still have multiple offer situations. So I wouldn't even call them bidding wars, okay? Multiple offer situations. But people are moving on and buying more and more. But if you are on the market for luxury real estate, then it's slightly better news for you. In Asheville Metro, so not Asheville proper, but slightly bigger area, which is diluted kind of. I don't always necessarily like to look at the bigger area because real estate market is hyper local. But anyways, in Asheville Metro, if you're looking at luxury listings, and I'm talking about anything $1 million plus, median sales price went up about 3% compared to last year. If you're looking at new construction when it comes to luxury listings, it actually went down 3.5%. So, and that makes sense. A lot of sellers resale, right? A lot of regular people, they can sit and wait, they have their price, and I see some luxury listings that have been there for a year or two. And they don't care, right? They still live there most of the time, or whatever happened, they can sit on it and just wait for the right buyer. Usually it's not a good idea anyways, but builders, they do not have that luxury. Every day that they have not sold their house, as soon as it's ready, as soon as it's finished and completed, they're losing money. So they want to offload that inventory, and which makes sense. The median sales price on new luxury construction went slightly down in Asheville, North Carolina. When it comes to investors, it kind of making less sense for a lot of investors to buy some of the properties, especially if it's an Airbnb and it's a resale. These numbers don't work anymore. Or the numbers that you could have had year, 2, 3 years ago if you bought the property then, they don't work anymore, because a lot of these property owners who bought a property, used it as Airbnb for 2, 3, 5 years, and of course they bought it at a lot lower price than they are trying to get right now. The ROI is just not there. And I'm amazed at how many we have short-term properties on the market that just the numbers just don't work. And I guess they just trying to find somebody who will just not look at the numbers. I'm not sure, or who's the first-time investor, but the numbers don't work a lot of times. So there's still, again, a number of resales when it comes to short-term rentals, and they are turnkey short-term rentals. You just have to look at the numbers, okay? Especially if it's a higher end property. And I'm talking about not necessarily $1 million plus property, but you know, $700,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 properties. They make the same, they net the same as we net at our $400,000 property that we bought a couple years ago. So make it make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense, but that's your choice right now. We have some investors who turn into long-term properties, so they're not going to use it as a short-term property, especially with all the regulations and all the restrictions that Buncombe County is trying to impose. Moving forward, I mean, everyone else will be probably, sounds like it, grandfathered in, but you just never know. And so some people just want to be safe and want to buy some properties that will be rented long-term. So let me end with what I started. The best time to buy is when it's best for you and your family, for your circumstances, for whatever is going on in your life. It is so hard to time the market. You might as well just do what you need to do at the time that is right for you. As you can see, in the past over 10 years, nobody ever said, we wish we waited a year or two longer to buy a house. And that's the trend that we are seeing. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So whatever is the best time for you to buy, for you and your family to buy, that's when you need to buy. If you're confused about anything and everything that I just said, everything that I explained, reach out to me and my team. Our contact information is down in the description. We'll be happy to walk you through not only the market and what it's doing and what to expect from it moving forward, but also we'll walk you through the process. We'll explain you what and where might be the best place to land for you and your family, or maybe you're an investor. We'll be happy to do that. That's what we've been doing for years. If you have any questions, reach out and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.